Folks, you remember, what's this guy's name now again?
Jason Miller.
Jason Miller, of course. Jason Miller, not to be confused with John Miller, the alias that Donald Trump would use when he would call media people back in the day. Jason Miller was a former senior campaign aide to Donald Trump. He had to leave after he had an affair with another former aide to Donald Trump, and they had a child out of wedlock. And Jason Miller, of course, was married to someone else. And I don't even know if Jason Miller and that woman talked. They had a very rocky end. I think that was public. I'm not going to say her name. It's not important to this story because apparently Jason Miller was super busy at that time. Because if you're going to have one lady on the side, why wouldn't you have two? And so according to court documents, or I should say, according to reporting by Caitlin Kruger, right? Is that who it was?
Yes.
And she works at
Splinter.
At Splinter. There was a story that she wrote that Jason Miller had impregnated a woman, it had an affair with a woman, and the woman got pregnant, and the woman, he was afraid that she was going to carry the baby to term, so he made a smoothie that included the day after pill, and she made these charges after obviously having an acute situation that would follow a taking the day after pill. And so this guy, Jason Miller, decided to sue this woman, Caitlin Kruger, at Splinter News. You had, here it is, ex-CNN pundit Jason Miller files a $100 million lawsuit over the abortion pill story. Now, it's very hard to know what the story is here. Maybe the reporter got it wrong. Maybe the reporter didn't get it wrong. And Jason Miller knows that if we put enough money behind a lawsuit, we can win because the other side can't necessarily defend it. So it turns out that Caitlin Kruger has a boyfriend. And this boyfriend is a guy named Will Menaker, who, of course, we've had on this program a couple of times. He is one of the hosts of Chapo Trap House, which apparently engage in name calling. And so Will Menaker took to Twitter to say, to call Jason Miller a rat-faced baby killer and Trump PR homunculus, and says he's suing my girlfriend for $100 million. Cool! Exclamation point. And so now it appears, according to court documents reviewed by the Daily Beast, that Miller and his legal team have added Will Menaker to the $100 million defamation lawsuit against Splinter News and Gizmodo Media Group. And the amended suit filed on Thursday cites that tweet that rat-faced baby killer and Trump PR homunculus Jason Miller is suing my girlfriend for $100 million. Cool. Miller is seeking unspecified damages for what the suit calls Menaker's misconduct. Now,
that should be a spin-off show.
First off, I'm not an attorney, but Jason Miller is clearly a public figure, right? I mean, he was out there. He was on national TV multiple times during the campaign. That alone makes you a public figure. So the defamation laws are that you need to knowingly report out or to make accusations without anything backing up. Now, It seems to me that Will Miniker is simply reporting what another reporter has written. Now, I guess he's saying, he's made up the part about rat face, but that's an opinion. And let's be honest. I mean, if I was going to describe...
It's not necessarily a bad thing.
It's not necessarily a bad thing.
To have a rat face.
It's not. Particularly if your face looks like a rat. And baby killer is simply, I guess the argument is that he killed a fetus. It was reported that he killed a fetus.
I didn't realize Will Miniker was pro-life.
Will Miniker is like trying
don't
to
sue me, Will Miniker.
Push some type of... but what's the theory behind this? Like, what is the theory here that Will... why would you sue Will Miniker?
So one detail that I think we might have overlooked is that Miller is being represented by the same attorneys that sued Gizmodo Media and took down Gawker with the Terry Boella or Hulk Hogan lawsuit.
Surprise, surprise.
So those guys were funded by Peter Thiel as well. So this could be an attempt to finally take down every aspect of Gizmodo. And now they find maybe an opportunity to throw Chapo.
But I don't understand what the theory is.
The theory is, I'm looking at
that you can attach Will Miniker to this suit. I mean, it's one thing to go after Splinter Media, but this is just a guy. You can say there's no transitive property where you can sue somebody because he's a boyfriend or a girlfriend. Like, you've gone on dates, so you're part of this.
Well, the theory is apparently Miller is accusing Kruger and Yasher Ali of being in cahoots with Aide Delgado, who Miller is, I guess, blaming, or who is...
Aide Delgado was the first woman, right, that he had an affair with.
Right, and so apparently this is all a cabal of people trying to smear Jason Miller. Which, I mean, you can see why they'd be in a hurry to do that. The guy with his importance and prestige.
Right. We've got to go after Miller. And how are we going to do this? I know.
And all they did was...
Get the Chapo guys. This is the way we'll take down Miller. First off, we're going to get someone who does a far left-wing podcast, who has a tremendous amount of credibility.
Miniker is an asset we've been cultivating for a long time, and we found the perfect person to set him up on.
There we go. And who else are they going to bring in on this? What, Yasher
Ali, who doesn't... I don't like his politics, personally. I've seen...
well, that's what makes it even more perfect.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We're going to surround him with different politics, and we're going to take out Jason Miller.
Plenty of cover.
It's funny because that's what they're doing.
Who's it?
It's all projection from the Peter Thiel side.
Oh, well, and the Project Veritas thing, right? Like, we're going to float a fake story, or some fake story is going to be floated, and we're going to get our people in the media to run with it. And by the time
they're doing a rat F, which is interesting. I wonder if...
It's a rat face F.
Rat face F.
F stands for face.
Maybe what we can do is get Miller to grow a goatee. Therefore, it'll be more difficult to say that he has a rat face. Does that make it more difficult or less difficult?
I'm going to rat fuck the rat face. Initiate.
Somebody go get Jason Miller's tail trimmed so that when they call him rat face, it'll be clearly an act of defamation.
I like the idea, though, that if we're going to, operate or, activate Agent Miniker and Kruger,
we're going to do it on Miller.
We're going to do it on Miller.
Right. Miller is the key to the entire...
I think maybe Pompeo
Right. Miller's the key to the entire operation. If you could take Miller out. What is Miller doing these days? Is he still, is he on CNN?
I believe he stepped down from CNN, but I believe he's still on the Keep America Great re-election campaign.
Ah.
And just to clarify, all Splinter did was report on allegations made in the lawsuit.
They reported on allegations in a lawsuit. Perfect. We've got them right exactly where we want them. That is pretty impressive. Apparently, somebody just stepped up and said, we'll pay to just do this lawsuit. You're never going to see $1. This is going to tie them up and be a pain in the ass.
That's so bad.
It's total. This is a slap suit, right? Mm. This is a slap suit.
Ugh. I mean, this goes without saying, but the fact that individual billionaires have the power to single-handedly execute any publication that they don't like because they like made fun of them or whatever, not great for democracy.
Yeah,
That's a little problematic.
That's the threat to free speech right now.
I wonder if there is actually like a mechanism to deal with this.
It's
I
called
think it's
revolution.
Well, if short of revolution, there is a mechanism to deal with this, because I think like
The First Amendment would have seemed to have been sufficient.
well, but clearly they're not going to win this lawsuit. If it was just that Splinter News was just simply reporting on a court filing, and that was in the Delgado custody battle. And apparently the filing was sealed. So,
that would be on Delgado, though, wouldn't it?
well, no, it's not defamation. She may have broken, she may be in contempt of court if you release something that is sealed.
Right.
That's a different issue. But in terms of defamation, just because it's sealed, it doesn't implicate the reporter. If you get a leak, you can write it. I mean, even if it's a top secret thing
Pentagon
about
Papers.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Now, it's possible if the reporter did not the reporter had to trust somebody, either that they were getting the right documents or that, they weren't being lied to. But even then, the defamation laws for a public figure are much tougher. And this lawsuit is completely nuts.
Aide Delgado was saying that she says, I'm just amused that their entire lawsuit seems to rest on reporter couldn't report on what was in a court filing that was sealed. And in parentheses, she says, hey, morons, it was never sealed and isn't sealed. And here, look at this nameless, faceless affidavit from an unidentified person denying this. Yeah, I don't quite follow that.
But what is going on here is completely a lawsuit to intimidate. And so there are SLAPP laws, but maybe this is filed in a place where there's not a jurisdiction for that, or they don't think that they're going to make some money. But there should be a countersuit here, because it will probably be thrown out very quickly.
It's in Florida. Get a Papantonio on it.
Well, yeah, I know he doesn't do those. That's small bore, buddy.
Here's the other thing.
That's total small bore.
Like, there were people who gleefully watched Gawker go down and had no sympathy for them because it wasn't a very sympathetic scenario to a lot of people, right? They published someone's sex tape without their consent. But the First Amendment isn't just for people that you like and things that you like. And I thought it was kind of a shitty move of Gawker, but like, I understood the broader implications and that this is a slippery slope.
Yeah.
And we're seeing it right now.
Absolutely.